Good morning.
Yes.
Dad's here. How you doing?
Morning, Earl.
Well, what are you up to this morning?
Well, the Model A is gonna get the roof cut off today. I see along this top line, and then I'm gonna set the roof down at different heights. And maybe ask,
And you're gonna just lower this roof?
right. So I'm gonna take out 2.5 or 3 inches back here,
Yeah.
and an inch less more at the front, so it's angled.
I see.
And so I don't know how much to take, so we're gonna cut it off, set it down, and see what looks the best.
I see.
So that's today's plan. I've almost got the 55 done. So I just have a couple inner rockers to do.
I see.
What are you up to?
Well, I've just finally measured and I put in a call to the people that will make the gas line.
All right. And you
I
have your
have to leave
permit?
a message and they will call me back.
Oh, okay, right on.
They sound very professional though.
Good. Okay. Good morning. Oh, take the shirt. Thank you, JF. You found a few of these. I got a brand new one. I wore the old one out. All right. So last night, I decided it was too high up in the air. So I lowered down my cart about 8 inches or so. So now I'm working right where I want to work. I added a couple of braces. This is X bracing I was talking about. It had to be a very short X because we're chopping it around here, right? But that makes everything really stable. I also got that door open. Didn't take that much. So today, I'm actually going to cut the roof off, and then we're gonna set it down. Lou's gonna grab one end, me the other, and we're gonna set it down and show you some different heights. There's the potential, I'm gonna let the focus group influence or decide how much chop. Remember, I'm tall. Not as tall as some tall, hairy guys, but I'm tall, and I need a little bit of room in here, depending on whether it gets a roof or a sheet metal roof, or left wide open. Anyhow, that's stuff we're gonna do today. The roof is coming off. Before I get into cutting this, we had a couple people ask about the Nomad. So here's the Nomad. I had the roof done before. I'm not finished on the drip rails. I have to hand file it, and I have to do a little more welding. We took the drip rails right off, replaced the bottom edge of the roof, so now it's really easy to get in here and hammer and dolly and play with it. If you look inside, here's where the shock mounts used to be. With the new suspension system, we don't need those. So I made some plates to cover it, primed inside. All this has been replaced. Bottom's in here. We're still up in here. It's really weird when it's upside down, but we're gonna cut in a battery door, and the battery mount is gonna be inside that you reach. So, and there was a bit underneath the back seat. I had to do some panels in there. If you come around and look at the bottom, and I have a whack of work to do on this border. And I'm gonna tape that because I've got to cut out the inner to hammer it straight. There's a lot of work here. Back in the day, they did a reasonable job probably on a 15, 20-year-old car, and no one cared too much. We've got to do a better job. So there's some work to do up top, which is actually the bottom. Oh yeah, have a look over here. This used to be the spare tire carrier, and it sat about here. And what we've done is there's a new fuel tank going in. So Lyle did a bunch of measuring for me and sent me some pictures, and we decided the new fuel tank is right here. It used to be here, and these were the rests for it. So now we have a different tank, but I wanted to have a toolbox underneath. We could have just made it flat, simple, easy, but we've still left about 4 inches. with a cool old car, you want to carry maybe a little electric compressor, some wrenches, a few tools. Where do you put them? There's never any room. So that's what this is about. So at least there's a bit of a toolbox. We had a few busted off body mount bolts. I've been replacing them, made up these panels. You can see the inner rocker up there. We had to rebuild the rocker, the lower rocker all the way along, and the inner rocker. I'm just doing the same over here. I have another body mount to replace, and I have maybe one more section. That's the pieces I'm making that I have to replace in here, and that will finish the bottom of the car and the rust. I want to do that today. I'm going to flip it right upside down because I want more room when I'm chopping rotisserie. Yeah. Okay. So now I can get this out of the way. So now you can see it looks a little ugly down here. It's not bad actually. So I got to grind that nicely and make it super smooth. And it's a whole different perspective, isn't it? You can see where I welded up a 4-speed hole. I was outside. I hand poured concrete so I can mount my 2-post hoist outside, and then I can set this body down on his frame that Lyle's going to be bringing up fairly soon. So I think it's safe. I can move this sort of out of the way. And that's pretty good. So now, yes, much more room. Just when we cut this roof off, we got to carry it and set it down. And now I have the room to do that. Don't need much of a welder today because we're cutting. So I have a few options. I'm talking about this. This is for cutting metal. You really got to watch the shavings on this. Wear your goggles. For cutting through a pillar, you can go pretty deep with these. Normally I use a zip cut, but when you're cutting pillars, sometimes it's easy to get offline. So just for the sake of experimentation, I used this on the last one I chopped. Worked pretty good. So I'm going to fire it up and I'm going to cut the B pillar. The windshield post we'd usually call the A pillar. B pillar, naturally. So I'm going to put on some serious goggles. And I'm going to start, I made a cut here. It wouldn't matter if you made your cut like this, as long as you measure down and do the same thing down below it so it fits. And we'll cut the doors as well. So I'm just going to get my extension cord here. You can see how this goes. It doesn't take long. The measuring takes time, the marking takes time. The first cut's easy, so just gotta find my safety goggles, which are over here. So, when I cut the top of the door, this top part's just gonna be swinging out, and I'm gonna goon myself several times on it, I'm guessing. So, I'm gonna knock out this top hinge pin, and then it'll be, once I cut the door, I can just set that down. Model A's are pretty simple. Okay, it's coming. Wow, that hurts. Now you have to imagine, that's been in there for decades. Came up pretty good. When I'm doing a restoration, quite often I'll get stainless pins because you paint these Every time you open the door, the paint comes off. So you can put in stainless pins when you put it back together. Anyhow, that one's out. Throw it in the pile. Take the other one out right now. Hopefully it comes as easy. I think so. Whoop. Ow. Jeez, it's hard to see. It is coming. Now let's get, where's my flashlight? There it is. Flashlights must be better. When I was younger, I didn't even bother using them.
It's down on the other side.
Okay.
You hold the flashlight?
Well, I'm gonna get a screwdriver. I just want to gain a little bit more so that it's not flush underneath. So it's easier to hold this thing where it belongs. Wow, the lights are right in my eyes. Vice grip. So if it wants to bite you like that, a pair of pliers. Doesn't have to be vice grips. There. A little more experience now. Okay, now I can commence cutting. I failed to notice that the middle hinge was broken.
Oh, well, look at that.
So I'm going to use my zip cut and get rid of this excess weight right now, just to help out. Watch your eyes, Lou.
And my glasses.
That's the weather stripping, or the channel. The glass sits in and still holding it. There! First piece cut off.
Is my hair on fire?
Not too much.
Okay.
You're smoking. Pardon me. Okay. Gonna cut through the B pillar.
I'm gonna stand somewhere other than right in the space.
Okay, stand on this side of me and I'm gonna shoot the sparks out. And it'd be totally cool to use the Sawzall. A half saw. Or Some people used an axe.
Whew.
Anyhow. There, that's free. Okay. Perfect. I think
The other side or the back?
I'll cut the other side. So stand on the back side of me. And that way, I'll shoot sparks forward now. Ta-da! And whoops. Oh, sorry, honey. Oops. Okay.
Honey bed.
I'm just going to quickly knock off this windshield. It's going to be in the way. Oh, forgot. I didn't forget. I was waiting. How's that? It's amazing. The windshield nuts just still come off by hand. Okay. Get this bottom part out of the way so that I can cut through here. And we got that. Okay. Put this back on, save these original pieces. Richard would be so pleased.
So once you cut this one, you can close the doors again, or not until
Well,
you
I gotta
the
cut this
front?
pillar too. Now, I could have cut this one here and this one up there. It doesn't matter. The next cut just has to be an identical part removed. So I'm leaving the front for now, because I may have to get you to hold pressure off the front. So I'm gonna cut the middle right now. And hopefully it springs up like the other side did. Okay. You see how it goes. Now I'm gonna do a little more here. Let's see. Miss a spot? I might have. There we go. Okay. Well, what do you cut next?
You're the pro.
Oh, geez. I mean, I'm going to cut one front pillar, and then I'm going to cut the back, and then Lou will be able to hold up the back while I finish cutting the front. So I'm going to cut this pillar here. I'm going to cut it about the same height as the door. May have to finish that with the Sawzall. Just a second, I will grab a Sawzall. Reciprocate yourself. All right, the recip saw, whatever you want to call it. Yes, okay. So, gonna buck through here now. Watch yourself. Okay, I'm going to finish that with the reset. Just because. I think that's through. It's through. Didn't like that. Yeah. Okay. Sparks are going that way. You might want to view. Read the view over there. Whichever you like. Here. Okay, I'm going to put on a new blade and finish cutting the back. And then I'll set you up. And you're going to have to hold the back probably while I cut the last pillar.
Okay.
So I'll just cut through here a bit first. Yeah, I have to finish that with reset, watch yourself, I'm going to be shooting like towards. Okay. Finish this. Yep. Where do we hang up? Alright. Guess I should use the skill set. Okay. A little bit here. Oh, a little bit here. Okay. So, if I cut through that front one, this whole roof can come off. But we could just set it down beside. First I'll shut the door.
So how'd you get the door to open?
Well, I had to use the screwdriver. The latch was rusted shut. Wasn't too bad. I did spray some cat's ass on it and got it working. So, one more pillar. Where's my cutter?
First you need me to hold?
Yes, so you could set that up.
You want me to?
Hold in here.
You just want me to push up a bit or just?
You don't have to. I'm just worried about falling right off.
Okay.
So just be ready. And if it gets too crazy, just let go. So you ready there?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So if that's actually cut off, well, maybe it isn't. Okay, how you doing, Lou?
That's good. I'm not holding anything really.
Okay, so
No weight yet.
let's try.
I think. Okay, what do you want?
We want to lift it up and move it that way about 4 inches.
Oh my God.
Oh, it won't come apart?
I think you still put some reason in there. I just can't let it.
Oh, oh, in there. Okay, better zip that a little bit more. And do that. Okay, where's mine? There it is, of course. Okay, so it's right in there.
Okay, so. You want me to just hold this way or because you're going to be holding that way or?
Actually, you can just stand up that way and see what happens. Wow. It's almost. There. Okay. So how about, can you lift it up now? And let's just get there, down. Right there. So I'm going to stand back. Here, you come and stand back, and I'm going to hold the front down. Okay. So you get an idea what that would look like. Now that's about 4 inches. I'll measure it to be safe, but that's about 4 inches. And I'm curious, I've done huge jobs on these. But that, well, actually, that's about 5. So, yeah, and that's just under 5. This would be hard. Let's sit down. Oh no, it's about 4.5. So, I've kind of got the rake. Can you see, looking from there, does it kind of look like it's dropped? Or does it just look like a piece of crap laying on top of another one?
No, you can see.
You get the idea?
Yeah. I mean, once you get more of a, you know, if the back's a bit higher.
I think instead of, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 4.5.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And 3.5.
What is it? Go big or go home?
Well, yeah. So, seeing it sitting like this, I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to mark down 4.5 inches at the front. I'm going to mark down 3.5 inches at the back. And then I'm going to do a straight edge and I'll angle my cut on the middle pillar. So I just have to find my felt pen. 4.5 as a bit. That's 4.5. If we go back here and go 3.5, then I just run the tape and run it around back, and I might have to put, yeah, this I think I'll use a skill saw on. So I'm going to clamp this door shut too. C-clamp. It'll work. And hopefully that stays. At least will I mark it.
Can you stand back here at all? If you stand back here and look with that roof there, see how cool it looks? Like,
It does look pretty cool, but we're not going to be that low. And that's where I want to just run the tape. Jeez. I'm just going to measure and see how much that actually is. Wow!
here,
Of course it is. Thank you. Okay. That's 3.5. Yeah, that's 4 3/8, which is fine. That's 3 11/16, like that. And this, it's looking like 3 9/16, but I'm going to raise it more of a slope. It doesn't matter what I do, as long as both sides are the same. So when I'm here, that ends up being 3, which means this side will be 3. So I can run tape across that. It's like I get all excited when I'm cutting a roof. Okay. Oh.
all excited?
Yeah, oh, big time. I mean, this is fun stuff. It's, I'm trying to avoid putting myself on a schedule because that always takes the fun out of a job. So, but I also don't want to waste any moves here. So I can take this tape off. And then I'm going to run the skill saw and see how the metal saw works. Yeah. And if it works, it's pretty quick. So I'm gonna find my safety goggles.
It's 10 after 12. I have to go.
Cheers! All right, I'm gonna try it out. It's a little bit tough to get used to, but we'll see. I'm really just concerned about using it at the post. So there is a lever here to open it up. I keep forgetting about. Pull that, open up the bottom. So I gotta do that. Get through it all right. Now I'm gonna do some wood. Not like I had hoped. We're gonna try this one. I have a feeling it's time for a new blade. That normally cuts a whole lot better. So, back to the zip cut. Always works. Tried and true. If I can just find it. Now here it is. Okay. Here we go. Cool. There we have it. And that can sometimes happen. $5, $5. Jammed it. Okay, we're gonna take the battery out. Actually, $6. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we save these pieces because we may use them to sleeve with, right? You may use 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch square, but you save all these parts you cut off. All right. So, this means we'll now move the roof this way. Glue had to take off, so I'm gonna try to do this myself. If I can get it moved over, I can cut the other side and at least get a better look at how much. I'm gonna have to put a board through there. A piece of 1x4. There you go. Just to make it easier to move. Okay. Okay. So, you get a little bit of an idea what it looks like. Now, that window was 14 and a bit. It's now 11. So, it's 3 and a bit. So, that's pretty good chop. I'm gonna ask, I'm curious what people think. I think I have to cut the other side. Set it down properly. And then we'll take another shot. And then people can say, how low can you go? Or that's good. Instead of doing a whole bunch of measuring, I'm just putting this piece up and we're taking off the exact same amount we took on the other side. Now, really not that critical because these cars were never very accurate to begin with. But you do your best. Same with the front here. Right, there. And then, the middle section. So, yes. So this is the old B pillar. Go with that. Yeah, pretty simple. Okay. Grab my zip cut. Do it all over again. So, you can see, not a lot to it. Now, the wood has to come up. I'm afraid I get a little too excited working on my own stuff, and I may not prep for the job that I'm facing. You know, I should have taken the wood up first. But, I'm gonna get it back. Almost. Well, gotta go over that way. That's all I'm doing today. But what I want from you guys is an opinion, if you don't mind, on what you think. It should be bigger. Like lower it down even more. Okay. Try this. Okay. Now, okay, that's sitting there. I have one piece of wood to get rid of, right here. I guess I'll use the reset. Okay. Now, this is pretty cool. Well, I think it is. So, I'm gonna clamp this door shut again. Okay, so this is just an initial rough cut, but you can see it's actually pretty accurate. Not that I should be surprised, but anyhow, it's nice when it works out like that. So the thing that's deceiving is without the top of the door, you kind of need this to get the effect, right? So that, I mean, that's a good job. But you can still, look at the windshield. We took out this much, right? I mean, that's a big chunk. So I could see the desire to do a bunch more. I've done them down here, but you had to climb in over the roof. So my friend Sean had big fat tires, and I helped him do his, and he would just step on and overtop into the car. I don't want to go that radical. I want to make this where it could be functional. And as you can see, hell, we don't have much time on this. 2.5 hours, measuring, cutting. It was pretty straight ahead. So what do you guys think? You can look on the internet, you can see some different cars, chopped more, chopped less. I would like a general consensus of what people think looks the best for something you're going to drive quite a bit. Also, I want to point out Hot Cars and Cool Tools. They have a YouTube channel. In the last couple of days, he put out a video talking about what it costs to build, they're building Frankenland, a Ford convertible, and he adds up his costs, not labor, because him and some people are doing it themselves. But check it out. Doing something like this, we can use a used motor, we can build our own frames, we can get as elaborate as we want. But if you're doing like a 50s, 60s car that you want beautiful, you've got upholstery, chroming, motor, everything. Anyhow, check out Hot Cars, Cool Tools. He's got a really good video out there on the cost of doing all this. What I'm trying to show, you're sitting at home with a piece that isn't really worth anything. You can have a lot of fun, get your buds, chop it. We're gonna put it back together. Once we put it back together, we're gonna run some 1-inch or 3/4 inch square around here, stiffen the whole body up, and we're gonna make that really solid. And it's looking so good to me, I kind of think we're gonna make some panels down below, because that's simple, easy stuff. And I actually started building a frame for another Model A. I've got the front 4 feet of it in the shed. So have a look at this and let me know what you think. Remember, on Sunday, we're gonna pick a new owner for the trunk lid. So you have to go back to the trip wind up and trunk lid giveaway video and go pick me. But here we go. Tell me what you think. Cheers.